Yes, hello, you creatures of the night, you stalkers of life and death and all this great stuff involved with that. I just had the most amazing thing offered to me recently, and I'm gonna hit it as hard as I can. So there was this incident with the well site that I was at recently, and what had happened is I was charged with assault for an incident that had taken place between me and an Espinoza, a guy who is working for the El Prado Water District, who is lying even about his involvement with knowing that John Painter tried to run over someone while we were there because he was at the gate when it happened. So this incident had taken place, okay, right after they John Painter had the sheriff and all the two sheriffs, I don't know if they're just deputies, whatever, come and explain to us that they were going to use equipment on us, that they were just going to fling shit at us. And at the time, I'm like, oh, well, this is great because now if I do anything now, it's just going to prove that they wouldn't want that. So I took my bear spray and I went up to their fucking fence. And I'm like, if you're going to hurt anyone, hurt me. Like, hurt me then, motherfucker. And I kept yelling at them for at least 30 to an hour, you know, 30 minutes to an hour, just straight up, just yelling. Well, if you're going to hurt anyone, hurt me, you know? And then they went up to the gate, and I'm like, well, fuck that. They're saying they're just going to look at us like we're fucking objects. So that guy, Espinoza, went up to the gate, and I'm like, you fuckers think this is a game, huh? You think this is a fucking game? You think I could just be something you can move around and manipulate, don't you? So I pointed the fucking bear spray at Espinosa. I'm like, this is exactly what I'm gonna need because I'm still involuntarily an American Indian. I didn't spray him. I just, at that point, threatened him that if he tried to fuck with us, I will fucking end him. Because they had the sheriff try to explain to us that they could just do that shit, and it's nonsense. So later on, I guess they have recorded it, whatever, because they're all dumb bitches and they want to be fucking YouTube hits, just fucking trying to take shit in such a way. And they showed it to the police at the time. And what had happened is the police came. Was it the day after, right? It's like the day after that shit happened. I already went home. Well, I bear sprayed myself that day right before I went home. Took me like a couple days to even get it off of me. But fucking it was the day after that they showed footage of it. And for me, I'm like, "Oh, this is great because they wanted to give me a citation." And the cop that was doing it, this is probably all nepotism. They're probably all related. Because the last time we were there was a sheriff that fucking knew the people that were working at a different well site, and they drove right in there. And I actually have that posted on my channel. But and if they're all related, they're gonna fucking look out for each other and shit in those kind of fucked up ways, even if they're fucked up. But what had happened is he tried to accuse me of spraying the individual and wanted to charge me with assault. So, for me, personally speaking, okay, it's exactly what I need. Because now I have all of that as collaborating evidence, as well as the fact that I'm being involuntarily called an Indian. So, when this court thing is supposed to happen, it's supposed to all be online or something, fucking over the phone, whatever. I'm gonna make that my case, as well as saying right before I speak that I'm not an American Indian. Because then it's on record, and we'll see how it is they want to take it then. Because then they're caught with crack, essentially. Indians is fucking crack. To understand what an Indian actually is in this country is knowing your breeding material and you're a child to someone who's a fucked up person who wants to see you as fucked up shit. And for me, this is just cleaning up shit for me. Like, I won't give a shit. I don't give a shit I gotta take their batches. I don't gotta give a shit I gotta take away their ability to feed their families. Hell, I got a family myself. Why don't they feed them? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not what's relevant at that point. But guess what? They didn't know who the fuck they messed with. They didn't know what they were getting themselves into. And I can't wait to rip away all of that shit they think they understand. Fact is, I called the FBI. I recorded it. Reported the sheriff's department there. And guess what the FBI told me? They just kind of laughed and shrugged it off. The dude I fucking spoke to. So, recording this won't, demean or take away the value of what it is I gotta do, because I was never an Indian before that, and I have my nonprofit to show that we disagree with it, that it's not a term that actually, you know, is respectful towards people. And this all happened way prior to all of this shit. So I'm gonna make a few more calls, and I'm gonna make sure that if they try to do their nepotism bullshit, that we have fuckers on standby. And they're not gonna get away with this shit. So what do you think? Do you think having people around at that point who are willing to fight back people who are like fucked up individuals is a good idea? Because for me, the more they ignore this thing, the more they ignore this, it doesn't matter if it comes to state or local governments. It comes down to the fact that if you don't treat people as people, even the worst of the worst will want to know that. And they'll want to get a hold of something that enables their ability to even fuck with you. So if the cops don't work for me, as in they know this is a legitimate fucking problem, that's fine. I'll just find someone who will. And I can't wait to see how it is they want to take it then. Because as far as I'm concerned, fucking they're just guarding that billionaire fucker anyway. And they want to speak about nepotism. Well, fucking, from what I remember is, mafias, they kill whole families. They don't need to give a shit. They kill whole families. From the smallest to the biggest. So it won't matter. And we'll see how this shit goes. Because I'm tired of dealing with dumb bullshit like this. But let's see what happens. I'm honestly totally unconflicted with this. Because for one, my case is I'm not an Indian. And the reason I was there is because it's called the Taos Pueblo Indian Water Rights Settlement. And I've already talked to people inside of that fucking thing who say we weren't Indians, that they don't acknowledge us as Indians. Why the fuck are they there then? Don't they understand that's bad business? I mean, it wasn't even the Espinosa guy. The Espinosa guy is just the little shit talker who's trying to make shit up. On top of fucking Painter holding his fucking strings. And this is just one of many. But I'm gonna make an example out of this so people can take this wherever it goes. Wherever these very same ideas exist, they can take this information and go as fucking far as they want with it. I'm gonna have fun with this. Watch me.